Hey, Back to Basics. It's Tanya, and I'm coming in with our weekly vlog for the Back to Basics WLS channel. And this week's assignment was to make a response video to Sarah Spoon. Her channel name is Nerd in Oregon, and I'll put a link to her video that she made this week. She was talking about goal and claiming goal, even not at the number. And so I have 3 pages of notes because I thought, even before Janie made this our assignment for the week, I'd already watched Sarah's video twice, I think, because the first time I watched it, it was so profound. The things that she said, it made me think so much about my own journey and where I am right now, that when I watched it the first time, I said, well, I'm going to go back and watch it a second time and take notes. And then I watched it a second time, and I hadn't even taken notes then because I was just wrapped up in what she was saying. So I watched it a third time this morning, and I took notes, and I kept pausing. And what wound up happening was I basically wrote an essay about my feelings about the things that she said. And I don't want to just read what I wrote. But I don't want to miss anything either. So if I catch myself reading, I apologize. But I'm going to go through real quick on the notes that I made of things that she said, and then I'll address how it spoke to me and where I am in my journey and what I've gone through. The first big thing is that she said that Kirk had made a statement that goal is a feeling, not a number. And I agree with that. She said, think of the reasons that you had surgery. It was not about the number. It was because your life was miserable. It wasn't because you were the number that you were, whatever number that is for you. It's because there was something about your life that was miserable, and that's why you got to the point of having surgery. One of the things she said, and this, I definitely believe this to be true for me, was I was a spectator in my life. For me, I was living vicariously through my kids and my husband. But I'll talk about that more after. She said, obesity was not my disease. My disease was complacency. For me, I interpret that as I was accepting good enough to be good enough. Now, I always said, since I've been making videos, that I had a good life before I had weight loss surgery. I did not have a bad life. I had, a happy family and a successful career and a home and all those things. But what I'm realizing now is that while it was good, it was really good enough, but it wasn't as good as it could have been, or it could be. I'll talk about it more after. And this is one of the things that really spoke to me. She said, you can achieve your weight goal and not be at goal at all. And I think that's where I've been for the last year and a half. Yeah. And then her last statement was, or last question was, are you using the excuse of not being selfish to allow yourself to avoid being courageous? And I think I listened to that question, I don't even know how many times, and then I wrote it down so I could really absorb it. So let me get started into where I am, where my head's been. I'm just reading what I wrote. So like I said, I had a good life before weight loss surgery. It wasn't horrible. It was not, I was not living a bad life. But what I've realized is that my life revolved around making sure everybody else was happy. I wasn't happy with myself. So I think I felt like if I could make sure that everybody else was happy and make sure that they got to do everything that made them happy, that I could live vicariously through them and be happy in knowing that my that I was doing everything to make them happy, and that would make me happy. And I think that made me happy enough to endure life. And I thought I was happy. Um, I knew I was miserable in my own skin, but making them happy gave me some happiness. Okay. So, yeah. Um, I remember having many discussions with my husband about me not having any outside interest. I had no hobbies. I had nothing that I was interested in. Um, I remember always saying, y'all are my hobby. Y'all are my passion. My family is my hobby. My family is my passion. And I would feel empty inside because I knew it was true. I should have something that was my own, but I just didn't. I think I didn't feel like I deserved it. I wasn't worth having anything more than my family. Um, so then I got to the point where I was tired of being miserable. I was tired of being uncomfortable in my own skin, and I made the choice to have ESG. I had no number goal when I had surgery. I didn't even have any goals. I didn't write down goals until a few weeks after surgery. And I never had a number goal because I had no clue as to what an acceptable number would be. So what I knew I wanted was that these are the things that I listed that I didn't want anymore. I didn't want to feel miserable and unhealthy anymore. I didn't want to be on blood pressure medicine anymore. I didn't want to die early, and I knew I would. I didn't want to be ashamed of what I looked like. I didn't want my kids to be embarrassed of their fat mom when they were old enough to see me through critical eyes. Those are the things that I did not want. So I guess those are the reasons that I had weight loss surgery. Um, then in having surgery, I became part of the WLS community, and I found my passion. Um, I found something that was mine. It was all me. It was my passion. It had nothing to do with my husband and the kids or my parents. It was mine, and it was something that I found happiness in. So, in losing the weight and becoming part of the community, I got rid of all those things that I didn't want. I didn't feel unhealthy or miserable anymore. I got off the blood pressure medicine. Um, I wasn't ashamed of what I look like anymore, and I'm not embarrassed, and I'm not worried that my kids are embarrassed about what I look like. I think they're probably proud, or not even proud, but it's not a factor in what they even think about me, how I look. I found things that I did want. I realized that exercising made me feel good. Um, I've always had kind of a love-hate relationship with exercise. Uh, Sometimes I don't want to do it, but after I do it, I feel so proud of myself and I feel so happy. And I realize that gives me a good feeling. So that's become a hobby. Um, I realized how much I loved helping people, helping new people who are just starting their journey, answering questions, giving encouragement. That makes me feel more whole. It makes me feel um, more of me. Like that is me. That's part of who I am. Um, I realized how much I love clothes and learning how to dress and accessorize. I think in the back of my mind, I always wanted that. Um, Always, but when you're almost 300 pounds, you take what is available. And it was like, what's the point of even getting involved in fashion? Because I'm never going to look like, I don't even know how to say it. It was never going to, I was never going to look like what I wanted to look like and what I thought was acceptable. So now I can wear just about anything, and I feel like I'm worthy now to take the time to learn about what goes together, and that has become something I really enjoy, is dressing up and feeling taking pride in how I look. Um, yeah. So now I've been in a stable weight for over a year and a half. And what I've realized just in the last few months is that in living my old life, which I thought was good, it was really just good enough. It was good, but it was just good enough. It wasn't as good as it could have been. Um, and that I no longer find my happiness only in making other people happy. That I'm finding my happiness in doing things that make me happy. And the hard thing about that is that sometimes doesn't make other people happy. Doing the things that make you happy when you've spent the last decade doing things solely to make other people happy is going to make other people unhappy. And I've been going through a lot of growing pains with my husband and my parents and my kids because I'm not the same person that I was 2.5 years ago. And I'm not going back to the person that I was 2.5 years ago. So I'm having to adjust to the new me, the me who is going to do what makes me happy, even if it doesn't always make other people happy. Which sounds selfish, but something that Sarah said in her video, which was that last question, said, are you using the excuse of not being selfish to allow yourself to avoid being courageous? And I feel like me sticking up for myself and putting my foot down and saying, you know what, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z anymore just because it makes you happy. Because it doesn't make me happy. And I am going to do A, B, and C because it makes me happy. And if that makes you unhappy, then that's really too bad. I've never been courageous enough to do that before. And I'm just in the last couple of months feel like I'm getting to a point where I value myself enough to do that. And I feel like if the people in your life really love you and they really value who you are and the things that make you happy or you being happy, that they will grow with you and they will evolve and they will step up and support the new you. If they can't, because I say, for my husband, like he didn't sign up for this. He signed up for the old me, the me who did everything to make everybody else happy. He didn't sign up for who I am now. So I can understand if he isn't happy with who I am now and maybe can't stick it out. But I feel like if you really love somebody and you're happy for the evolution, then maybe you can grow together and appreciate the changes. Because, a friend has told me several times, nobody stays the same. Everybody changes. You can't stay the same and stagnate. So either you grow together or you grow apart. And hopefully from my relationship, we grow together and evolve together and find happiness in the new me. I'm hopeful that can happen, but it's been painful the last few months going through these growing pains. So I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. So I think I covered everything. I think my challenge now is to find ways to be the real me, the me that makes me happy, and do all the things and have all the life experiences that make me happy, while also finding the balance of being sure that other people are happy too, like my kids, because that is my responsibility to make that I don't throw their needs to the side completely for my needs, but finding that balance between both, that I get what I need and I make me happy and hopefully make the others in my life happy too, but without compromising my own happiness. That's the challenge. And I feel like I'm closer than I was, say, like 3 or 4 months ago to figuring out how to do that. But I think I still have work to do. And I think my family still has work to do to get to that point. But we're a lot closer. So thank you, Sarah, for making that video. I've questioned for months now, why am I just dealing with this now? A lot of people deal with the mental part while they're still in the losing phase early on, and I didn't. I didn't deal with it until just in the last few months, and I think that's why I've continued to make videos, because I think in the back of my mind I always knew I was still on my journey, that I wasn't finished. I wasn't at goal, even though I was at a number goal. I wasn't at my life goal, but I'm happy that I'm getting closer to that goal now. So thanks for making the video, and I look forward to hearing everybody else's response. Please, please make a response video, because I really am interested in hearing about if others have dealt with this, at what part of their journey, and how did their families accept it. Okay? Bye, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.